Good morning. This is your Stat Sensei, Mr. Spensei, and this is scenario 7 of the take-home quiz, 2003, question 2. When a law firm represents a group of people in a class action lawsuit and wins that lawsuit, the firm receives a percentage of group's monetary settlement. That settlement amount is based on the total number of people in the group. The larger the group and the larger the settlement, the more money the firm will receive. Okay. A law firm is trying to decide whether to represent car owners in a class action lawsuit against the manufacturer of a certain make and model for a particular defect. If 5% or less of the cars of this make and model have the defect, the firm will not recover its expenses. So in other words, it's got to be more than 5%. Therefore, the firm will handle the lawsuit only if it's convinced that more than 5% of the cars models will have this defect. The firm plans to take a random sample of 1,000 people who bought this car and ask them if they experienced a defect in the car. So, how would we do this? First off, something like this, find the parameter of interest and state the null and alternative. If it's 5%, we don't take it. That's the status quo. If we do, we don't already have it, but if it's greater than 5%, we will take it. So PO is a true population proportion car models that have a particular defect. Just in my opinion, if they're asking you to do a type 1 and type 2 error and they don't tell you to do this, you should do it anyway because it lets you know, oh, there's my null, here's my alternative, because ultimately I have to either reject or fail to reject that depending on what it is. All right, so that takes care of part A. Part A was pretty easy. Part B, the context of the situation, describe type 1 and type 2 errors and describe the consequences of each of these for the law firm. So type 1 error. All right, type 1 error, probability of rejecting a true null. That doesn't give me any credit. That just tells the reader that I know what I'm talking about. I have to have it in context. In this case, here's where I start to get credit. The type 1 error would be for the law firm to believe, because type 1, HO, P equals 5%, HA, P is greater than 5%. Probability of rejecting a true null. This means this is true. All right, that makes this is false. So I crossed out the truth. I believe this. In this case, a type 1 error would be for the law firm to believe that the percentage of defects, so I believe that is greater than 5%, when in fact that's false. The consequence of a type 1 error is that the law firm will take the case, but will not be able to recover its expenses. All right? So I need to put it in context, and I need to tell the consequence. Type 2 error, all right? Well, our claim is HO, P equals 5%, HA, P is greater than 5%. But a type 2 is failing to reject a false null. Oh, in this case, this is false and this is true. So I'm believing this. In this case, a type 2 error would be for the law firm not to believe that the percentage of defects was more than 5% when in fact the defects was greater than 5%. In other words, I believe that it was 5%. All right. The consequence of a type 2 error is that the law firm will not take the case that would the potential of making the law firm lots of money. So once again, that gets me no credit, but it tells the reader I know what I'm talking about. This gives me my context. This is my consequence. Really important that you have both context and consequence. Hope that helps you on type 1 and type 2 error. This is your Stat Sensei, Mr. Spensei. Hope to see you on the next one.